shares of Malaysian conglomerate YTL. How are they doing? That's a KL-listed company. There we go. A little bit soft today, but then so is the rest of Asia, so I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to throw blame anywhere. Francis Yeoh is Group Managing Director of YTL Group, and Tan Sri joins us on the line from Kuala Lumpur. And David, of course, from Independent Strategy with me in the studio, just kind of observing and absorbing everything going on around us today. Tan Sri, thanks for joining us. It's your good friend Bernie. What do you think about what's going on in Britain? You've got a lot of money over there in Britain. You've got Wessex Water. You've got lots and lots of money in Britain. So this is your vote. This is very, very much about you, too. Mm-hmm.
Exciting times, exciting times. But I know the issues quite intimately, Bernie, on the immigration issue that's actually facing a lot of, generally the people in Britain, they actually have immigration in their face, so I can understand their anger in those voting people that are so against Remain and the issues. I also understand, of course, Europe needs to reform. Europe can't go on with Greece going on that way and bailouts, and people understand that kind of issue. But my point is, to remain is less of a risk. To influence Europe is less of a risk than to get out. That's my point, and I would have preferred UK to stay inside to reform Europe. Definitely a reform Europe. A Europe without reform is not good for Britain. It's like a black hole sucking Britain in the wrong way. And one day Britain will be also, if it does not reform Europe, Europe will reform Britain into a slower economy, which Britain actually is quite independent at the moment. And Bernie, you know why I love Britain. Britain has got this regulatory framework, transparent, coherent regulatory framework that allows investment transparently, coherently. They don't change their minds on long-term investments by the billions. They don't change the rules. There are no smack of anti-foreigner investment. In fact, they welcome a lot of foreign investments. That's not well told and signaled by European governments or economies. So that's why Europe is not as investable as Britain. So to a certain extent, I love Britain to stay. I hope Britain will actually, and also Europe will learn from this referendum how close it is if Britain do remain, to actually change and to...
Francis, David Roach is with me in the studio. David, say hi to Tan Sri.
Hello, Tan Sri.
Hi, David.
Got a question? What question would you put to Francis?
Well, he said a lot of very sensible things. I mean, he said this is a vote between economic rationale to stay in a Europe which needs reform, and against it you have a vote which is basic about racism and immigration, which is kind of a populist thing, and that hopefully we'll get a sensible decision and the UK will work for the reform of Europe. I agree with everything he says. For instance, just as a little thing, my daughter makes handbags. Odd thing to do, but that's what she makes, handbags. She runs a small company making and designing handbags. And she runs that out of Ireland. Well, why Ireland? Because it's extremely friendly and regulatory like the UK. She couldn't run it out of Italy. She couldn't run it out of Belgium. It's impossible because of labour relations, taxation, everything. So, I mean, his point on the need for reform in Europe is completely correct. Completely correct.
It's very interesting there. Francis, do you have any, before I let you go, do you have any contingency plans? I mean, you're not going to do anything, are you? I mean, regardless. I mean, your investments are in infrastructure, things that they're going to continue regardless. I mean, you're kind of insured against whatever outcome happens in the end.
That's going, and I hope they will reform Europe this time. I think Europeans will also learn to be a bit more of listening to Britain's arguments. But of course, if they do go out, then of course there'll be more opportunities for me. I think a lot of people might exit, you know, for right or wrong reasons. But I believe in the British way of doing things. I believe in their regulatory framework that's clear and transparent for a long time. And I'll invest more. It's not a problem for me.
Okay. Tan Sri, great catching up with you, okay? Thank you for your time, then we'll catch up soon. Francis Yeoh, YTL Group.